Let's go 9 Jerome's. Now, it is absolutely way too early to projecting a 53-man roster because, I mean, it's late April. We have to get to late August for this to really come into fruition. But here we go. We just can't get enough. So this is going to be a weird offseason in that no rookie camp, no OTAs. We'll see what happens with training camp and preseason because of the Rona. But we took a stab at it. We'll see how all 15 of these draft picks, as well as currently 12 UDFAs, mix in with the Vikings, who went undergoing a bit of a facelift. Yeah, because it is Kirk Cousins' team. He is God King. He is the man right now. So we'll see how the rest of this shakes out. Plus, a couple of changes here. So the misnomer, it's not a 55-man roster anymore, but you do have the flexibility because practice squads have been increased to 12 for this season, next season, then 2022. It goes up to 14. But you have these two flex spots where you can take 2 practice squad players, put them onto the active 55-man roster, and then you can shift them back without having to go through waivers. So it's pretty neat, as well as the game day players have gone from 46 to 48, which they actually should just abolish. But I understand why they do it. It's to have a competitive advantage, reduce the competitive advantage for a healthy team versus a team that has injuries where the player remains on the roster but not on injured reserve. That's a whole argument for another day. So basically, still 53, 12-man practice squad. That's all I need to know. So let's go through the positions. Decided to break it down right down the middle. 25 offense. I should say 25 defense, but I include the specialists in the 3 here. So quarterback Kirk Cousins and Sean Mannion, 2 quarterbacks on the rooster, similar to what they've done, basically time immemorial, except for before with Teddy. And then let's see what else we got here. Oh, practice squad. So I got Jake Browning beating out Nate Stanley. I think it is going to be a 1 spot. Now, with 12 practice squad spots, if you like both, or if it's a near-run thing, or it's incomplete, I mean, you could have both quarterbacks conceivably on the practice squad. I actually wouldn't be upset if that's how the Vikings use the extra spots. Plus, we said on here before, when it was 10, there was always microtransactions of this player was cut from the practice squad, this player was signed from practice squad. Now, they do that because they effectively got to keep 11 players under control on the practice squad where, I mean, yeah, guys only get paid every other week, but is every other week of a practice squad check better than no check? Yes, it is. So de facto, I mean, even though practice squad was 10, it's always been 11, so now it's going to be 13. So I got Nate Stanley. I don't know. I don't know. Like if Nate Stanley and Jake Browning combined into one player, that'd be pretty damn good. But I don't know. Running back, boilerplate, according to Hoyle, incumbents all win. So Dalvin makes it, even though apparently he's going to sit out digital OTAs. A lot of these players have workout bonuses, and it can range from upwards of $50K to $100K. So you're going to pass up $100,000, like 6 figures, like 100 dimes. Just because you don't want to sit in the front of the iPad for a couple hours? Bro. But Cook, Madison, Abdullah, Mike Boone. If we're going to be a running team, may as well have 4 halfbacks. As well as, I don't like lumping C.J. Ham in with the running back. C.J. Ham is a damn fullback, even though he's a really good halfback back in the day at Augustana. But he deserves respect. Don't lump it in. It's like, the Vikings carrying 5 running backs. No, the Vikings are carrying 4 halfbacks and a fullback. I'll even let you call them a tailback, the halfbacks. There you go. Wide receivers. So carrying 5, because if you're going to be a run-heavy team, you don't really need to carry 6. So you got Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, the number 22 overall pick coming in, BC Johnson, the Beast Brigade, rise up. We love the kid coming out of Colorado State in the 7th round. Don't want to say I'm patting myself on the back, but we also got Tajay Sharp, the free agent signee, as well as KJ Osborne, 5th-round pick coming out of the U. Osborne's also going to be kick and punt return specialist there. Tyler Conklin kicks things off on the tight ends, as well. All right, so I got the Vikings carrying 4 tight ends, and you may think that's a little bit odd, except the Vikings are going to run a lot of 2 tight end sets, a lot of 12 personnel, 22 personnel. So I got Brandon Dilla making the roster because he's a damn fine receiving option. Hopefully he's added a little bit of weight. Hopefully he's been able to improve that blocking a little bit. But he was really impressive last year. He was really impressive both in training camp and preseason. Of course, he got Rudy and Irv Smith doing the damn thing as well. Decided to carry 9 offensive linemen. Wouldn't be mad if they carried 10. So left to right, my ideal starting lineup. Ezra Cleveland, Riley Reif, Garrett Bradbury, Drew Samia, Brian O'Neill. I think at this point with the current roster, I think that would make the most sense. But also, we do expect Josh Klein to be crashing in here like the Kool-Aid man at some point. So I think Josh Klein, I think Everson Griffin are both back on this roster. But since they're not currently on the roster, we left them out. But yeah. So those are your starting five. Backups, we got Oli Udoh, Rashad Hill, being the backup tackle spots. Oli Udoh can also play inside. Plus Brett Jones at interior backup offensive lineman. Plus the first surprise, Jake Lishchyna. Jake Lishchyna, the UDFA coming out of Augustana, just scratches and claws and makes his way onto the roster. Dad Corbin played with the Vikings back in the day and was a Division II All-American, Remington Award Trophy winner, was just really amazing in NSIC. Vikings have had okay luck with some NSIC guys. CJ Ham, of course, went to Augustana as well. Adam Thielen went to the university formerly known as Mankato State. I refuse to call it by what it's called now. I mean, you could put a lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig. Get out of here. Winona State forever. All right, defense. Defense. There we go. So we got 28 on the defense. May as well show the practice squad. I got 28 on the defense. Oh, I haven't even been talking about the practice squad. So we have... What do we have here? Oh, so I got 3 wide receivers making the practice squad. Courtney Davis come Texas A&M. A lot of places had a draftable grade on him, except I think he just fell because this is such a heavy class. I think 26 wide receivers got drafted, which is just absolutely bat bleep insane. Devin Davis and Alexander Hollins, the UDFA wide receivers out of last year. I think that the team really likes him. Hollins actually spent some time on the active roster as well. I'm not sure if Davis did. He may have spent a week or two, but with the expanded roster, I think it's perfectly fine carrying 3 wide receivers on here, plus any other offense. Oh, so Kyle Hinton, Blake Brandell, the 2 offensive line draft picks from late day 3, put them on the practice squad and see what they eventually develop into. So defense, pretty straightforward. My starting 4 right now on the 4-3. So you got Hunter Afadi, Michael Pierce, Armand Watts rises up, takes that 3 tech spot. I love it. Plus, I love this entire defensive line room where you got DJ Wanham, you got that massive edge project, you got Kenny Willekes, where absolute high motor getting after Rudy, baby Jared Allen coming in on Michigan State. I think that was a massive, massive mistake by a couple of teams where if you needed edge help, it was a edge class. I mean, you probably should have grabbed Willekes in the 5th or 6th. The Vikings getting him in the 7th is just absolutely a steal. Plus, James Lynch is, of course, my guy. I don't know where he's going to play. Is he going to play edge? Is he going to play 3 tech? He's going to be a sub-package beast for sure. I'm really excited to see what James Lynch does, as well as Anthony Zettel. So he had a great season 2017 with the Lions. I think he's either 7.5 or 8.5 sacks. He was playing left defensive end opposite of Ziggy Ansah, but he was a college defensive tackle. I'm not exactly sure where the Vikings are going to play him. He was with the Niners last year. He actually had a tackle against the Vikings in the divisional round loss, but yeah. I like Zettel as well as Hercules Mataafa. Run it back again. All right, he's upped weight. This is year 3, technically year 2 on the field because he tore his ACL first time around. So I believe in Herc. I think that he'll hang on by the skin of his teeth, and I think that he will get it done. Now, a bit surprising here. Let's get cuts in here. All right, so a bit surprising. So I got you, Lil Johnson, the former 3rd round pick out of Iowa, 4th-year guy, let go. Jalen Holmes in his 3rd year. I think he's going to be a surprise cut. Shamar Stephen, who came over as a free agent last year, as well as Coach Patterson's favorite son. I think there's just too much young talent to allow a guy who's perfectly fine, okay, not great, like Shamar Stephen to hang around, as well as we mentioned Eddie Arbro gone. Oh, we didn't even mention, so cuts on the offensive line. We should probably just redo this video. But Dakota Dozier, Pat Elflein, he gone, as well as Aviante Collins doesn't make it as well. That's a Nate Stanley, Tony Brooks Jr., he gone, Braylon Edison, BB, and Dilla Mitchell, they're also gone as well. So there you be. Let's see here. Linebackers, so easy peasy lemon squeezy, Bark Hendricks, Wilson, Gideon, as well as Troy Dye coming in. Where Troy Dye, can he play some safety? I think he absolutely could. Could he play a little bit edge? Sure. But I'm excited to see just the bag of athleticism that Dye brings. He's an amazing coverage linebacker, as well as so Brian Cole, who Mississippi State played as a cornerback. He was listed as a safety. I think he actually may be like the what was the name? It wasn't Ogletree. It was the safety for the Rams that they eventually made into a linebacker, and he went to the Giants. I don't know, but I think he's going to be like a Deion Buchanan, a money backer, a sub package outside linebacker. I think that's what Brian Cole is going to be. So Brian Cole makes the practice squad there. Also, I don't think they're ready to give up on Cameron Smith, fifth-round pick out of USC last year. He initially didn't make the roster. I think he was the only draft pick not to make the roster last year. I think they made 11 rookies out of 12 make the 53, if I'm not mistaken. But Cameron Smith running back on the practice squad. Let's see here. Linebackers, Darkus Gates, and then cornerbacks. So cornerbacks gets a little bit interesting. I actually have them carrying 7 because Zimmer, of course, loves his cornerbacks, 11 defensive backs overall. Since this is such a big sub-package league, I think that they just want to get this right. And I think with a truncated, potentially training camp and preseason, I mean, just hanging on to dudes who you think could light a spark, I think that could make a little bit of sense this year. So guys that are making it for sure: Hughes, Gladney, Dantzler, the 2 draft picks, as well as Holton Hill. I think that's going to be your core of starting cornerbacks to begin with. I think you're going to see a lot of Hughes in the slot, as well as a lot of Dantzler, Gladney, and Holton Hill on the outside. And then you got Nate Meadors, the UDFA from UCLA last year, made a nice little impression. Chris Boyd, 7th rounder out of Texas, as well as, little surprise there. So Neville Clark, the UDFA out of Central Florida, former teammate of Mike Hughes, where he basically is Cameron Dantzler. Like, he is a poor man's Cameron Dantzler, and it's a lot of the traits that the Vikings are looking for. They got length, they got press man skills, need to add a little bit of weight, but again, what do we always say ad nauseum? What's the easiest thing to do? Add weight in the NFL strength program and nutrition. That is all. Then the 4 safeties. Zimmer, you can almost set your watch by this. Zimmer always carries 4 safeties. So you got Harrison Smith, Anthony Harris. I hope that they work out a long-term deal. If not, will he play on the tag? TBD. I think they project Harrison Hand, the cornerback out of Temple. I think he's going to be more of a safety, as well as Josh Metellus is obviously a safety. Just a really nice do-it-all dude. I'd really like Josh Metellus. I just really, really do. And then special teams, it's straightforward: Bailey, Colquitt, and Cutting. So reviewing the practice squad. So you got Browning. I mean, maybe you could have Nate Stanley in here. Maybe he's the rotating guy. Maybe there's rotate Browning and Stanley on and off the practice squad. You got 3 wide receivers: Devin Davis, Alexander Hollins, Courtney Davis. You got Stacy Keeley, the UDFA tryout from UAB last year. I think they see a lot in him. Brian Cole is the safety, linebacker, cornerback, whatever. Intriguing. Dude absolutely just brings the wood. Amazing tackler coming in. Cameron Smith, the former 5th round linebacker out of USC last year. They run it back. Blake Brandell, the left tackle out of Oregon State. Now, do they see him kicking inside? That could be tough. That would be tough for me. Kyle Hinton, the guard from Washburn, as well as David Moa, the nose tackle, UDFA from Boise State. I think he hangs around on the practice squad, as well as Blake Lynch from Baylor. No relation to James Lynch, but the former wide receiver, running back, plays linebacker, safety, cornerback, whatever. I think he's just a really intriguing just ball of athleticism to mold on that practice squad. And then, so who's out? BB's out. Yeah, Mitchell's out. Dakota Dozier is out, even though Rick Dennison loves him. Pat Elflein, he gone. Where I mentioned these guys. Let's see, Mark Fields, the UDFA had the trade a 7th round pick for the Chiefs for last year. He gone. Kerman Hall, he gone, as well as what else here? The rest of the UDFAs. So good game. Thanks for coming out. But I mean, the Vikings do have 2 UDFAs, or excuse me, 3 UDFAs. So Courtney Davis, Blake Lynch, and David Moa making the practice squad, as well as surprise, Jake Lishchyna making the 53. All right, so that's it. That is the initial way too early 53-man roster. Of course, this is all going to be moot once Logan Ryan, Everson Griffin, and Josh Klein sign. But what are your thoughts? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe to Daily Vikings Takes. You know what to do. Skull, production value.